and welcome to the 145 Rural Podcast, where we are here to strengthen music careers and communities one song at a time. And now, here's your host, Jacob Wing. Yay!
Hey everybody, welcome to today's episode. We are very lucky to have Mr. Howard Burress with us. Thank you so much for taking the time.
Pleasure.
Coming to the studio, and we'll get right into it. My favorite thing about you that I've got to dig into and find out about you, you're part of so many projects in our local area. So I just want to start with a baseline. Where are you now musically? Like, what's going on with you? Talk about your projects and what you got going on right now.
I play a lot of solo gigs,
right,
as Dr. Fly.
And how would you describe that kind of music?
It's electronic looping kind of stuff. I have what I call the space station. It's this giant case full of little machines, drum machines.
And he's going to perform for us later, so we'll get to see that.
Yeah, I brought the space station.
It's exciting.
Yeah, it fits in the studio, luckily.
Yeah, just barely though.
Yeah. I'm in a few bands, and they fill up my schedule pretty good, and then whenever I have a gap, I try to do the solo gig, and just hopefully every weekend I have at least one gig,
Right.
That's kind of my goal.
That's a great goal. I mean, a lot of people are just trying to get to that level, so that's pretty great. So you have Dr. Fly, which you said is a little more electronic and looping kind of stuff, and then some other ones were the Scurfs. You play with them.
Yeah.
And what kind of music do they do?
It's a play on surf rock, I guess.
Right.
But it's ski surf. So it has kind of that foundation of that old surf music, but it's also more demented. There's
I love that.
There's metal, punk in it. And also, since I've joined the band, they've kind of been in this reinvention kind of thing, trying to almost like any genre goes kind of a thing
fun.
Lately. Like every new song we're doing is kind of its own thing. So.
Really cool. And then the other was, I know, Brute Finesse. Is that right?
Brute Finesse, yeah. That I've had that one going for 5 or 6 years, and it's just I play the space station, and then my buddy Coach Shane raps. And then
cool.
Larry Hirschberg on guitar. So it's just a trio, dance music, hip hop.
Fun. Yeah, that covers a lot. The genres. You could almost be booked anywhere for anything.
Hopefully, yeah.
That's really cool. Is there anything I missed in there?
I've got. Let's see. Those are kind of the main ones that are busy, but I still have Red Onion Purple.
Oh yeah.
We haven't played in a while. Got one called Mirror Gods. We haven't played in a while. There's probably more, but it's kind of always filtering through whoever's active, and I kind of leave that up to other members of the bands kind of a lot of the time.
That's really smart. You the best of all worlds. That's really smart. So everything that he does we'll have it linked below to his website, to all the things. Check him out. Go listen to it. There's recordings. There's videos. Yeah. There's so much. And just before we start to go into other parts of your life, I want to touch upon something you've been doing recently, as far as I've seen recently, this free music ideas thing you've been doing.
I guess I don't know. I'm wanting to kind of build up online, try to get, just get my reach out. And also it's kind of a fun challenge. I just started doing it, and then once I start something, I just kind of keep going. I don't even know what's driving me to do it anymore. But I'm trying to put out one video a week, and they're under less than a minute long, just
they're fantastic.
One concept.
If there's any reason, you should definitely go give him a follow on YouTube or anything. They're great. Sometimes it's a musical chord that just kind of sparks that idea, or how to use a piece like an instrument. Or I think the last one you did was about being a great band member and having the right kind of having the good vibe, the right vibes for the right situation kind of thing.
Yeah, a lot of it has been whatever gigs I had that last week. If I recorded part of it, then I can kind of talk about something like that, or else just a generic music theory idea. I don't really want to have any limits to what it is. Yeah, but that's inspired by your channel.
Oh well, I appreciate that so much. But it is fantastic. Yeah, like I said, go follow it below. It's even myself. I hear I know there's a chord you put up the other day. I was like, man, I haven't used that since I was in high school. Went back to it. I was like, oh, this is great. And then you wind up writing something off that. Yeah. So I mean, just there's little sparks of inspiration. Go follow that. Let's go backwards now. So we kind of know where you're at, what you're doing, all these amazing projects. How did you get your start with music? What started this whole thing? What got that ball rolling?
I grew up in a small town, Polson, Montana. Yeah.
Did not know that.
Oh, you didn't? Are you a Polson?
I'm from Polson too. Small world. When did you graduate?
Graduated high school in 2007.
2000. That's
okay.
Unbelievable. Wow. Okay.
Really?
So tell me the story of Polson.
Wow, we probably had some of the same teachers.
Probably, yes.
Wow, that's wild. Well, yeah, I just luckily, the group of friends that I was in, kind of starting in middle school, we were all really interested in music. We were in band together, and then but some of us started.
Mr. Missouri still?
Yeah, Mr. Missouri.
Great man.
Yeah, Mr. Nelson was kind of took over for the younger grades, but in high school I had Mr. Missouri for a while.
Oh, fantastic.
Yeah. But anyway, just kind of lucky to have friends that were really interested in music, and really good friend of mine had like a shop where we could start jamming, and so we started learning guitar and drums and stuff.
Oh, I killed that for when I was there. That's so cool.
Oh, it was life-changing, and yeah, just I guess music was just our like a healthy outlet, rather than getting into weird negative.
Right.
Who knows what, if I was in a different circle of friends, I could have been
a whole different thing. That's funny. So yeah, it's not even like a lot of people here. It's like my dad or my mom, family member. It's like, but that's really organic. Very cool.
Yeah. Like a couple of my friends had parents that played music around town too and stuff. So
very cool.
Yeah.
Hi there, and welcome to the ad break. We're just going to take a moment to let everybody know about our community of growing members, and if you'd like to be a part of that, just look at the info below and there will be a click there for an email sign-up to join in and get your voice heard. As well, if you're enjoying this content, please join our Patreon at patreon.com/145rural. There you can join any of our groups, and you can add to the discussion of what topics we will choose that will help you and hopefully future members of our groups, as well as join monthly Q&As and other such benefits. Again, that's patreon.com/145rural, and we look forward to seeing you there. Now, back to that regularly scheduled episode, and enjoy that content. Thanks again.
So you went from there, you're in Polson. How do you wind up getting into Missoula?
I graduated high school in Polson, and I did like 5 years in Kalispell.
Oh.
And then I just had some...
Community college, or you just hanging out?
Yeah, I went to the college.
That's where I started after high school too.
Whoa, okay. We're like the same guy.
Real same journey here. That's funny.
That's cool. But yeah, it was just like a natural time for me to leave Kalispell, and I had a friend that had like a room opening up, and I've always wanted to get to the big city of Missoula and try music there. So it was just, I never really planned things out. They just,
just go with the flow. And
so, then I've been here. I just hit my 12th year of living in Missoula. So
congrats.
Yeah. So
I've been all over this state, and honestly, to me, Missoula's the place to be.
Yeah. I mean, it feels kind of like a vortex. Like
there's a little bit of everything.
I'm a little bit. Almost feel trapped there a little bit, but I'm okay with it.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, so you get there. What do you start? You get out of Kalispell, Missoula. What do you start doing there? Where do you start? Any work or?
I was a barista for a while.
Yeah.
I started at Break Espresso and then Black Coffee. So that was just. But my goal, like, I never wanted to do, 40 hours a week at a job. Yeah. So I was always like, just working enough to kind of get by, and then so I could just focus on music. That's kind of how I've always been, and for better or worse,
No, and exactly. There's many of us. Same exact way. It's always like everything else was while I'm doing music. This will supplement. This will whatever. Yeah. And sometimes it pulls you too far away from music, and you're like, I got to fight back.
Absolutely.
Life is that way. So you're a barista, and then what? Do you doing any projects? When's your first music project in Missoula?
Well, I've had that band Off in the Woods. Those are some of the guys that I grew up with.
That's funny, because I saw it. I knew that was originally from Polson. Like, that's weird. I wonder how you know those guys.
Yeah. So, I mean, that band has been going on the whole time since I lived in Polson and Kalispell and Missoula. So that's been like the constant. And I feel like, we started out with 4 members. We have 7 now.
Right.
But it's so fun being with those guys, but there's no way we're going to gig enough to keep me as busy as I want to be. So,
right. got all these other projects just to keep the whole calendar full.
So I joined a couple bands in Missoula and started a couple, and over the last 12 years I've came and gone, but I feel like I've always had at least like 3 bands. Sometimes there's been times where it's been too much,
Right.
But I've struck a pretty good balance lately. Sometimes you sign up for too many things and just the wave hits you. You just gotta like get through it. But.
So I'm just gonna throw this out. I'm gonna guess basically,
Okay.
just based on the fact that you went to Kalispell. You probably haven't any formal music training. So are you one of those people that learns just by getting hands on and doing it? Like you're doing all this electronic music. How do you get into how have you learned? How have you developed your skills?
I mean, when I first got a guitar for the first several years, it was all self-taught, so I had a lot of weird bad habits that I've had to unlearn over the years. But I kind of, my brain kind of worked well for like getting into music theory and stuff. And then when I first moved to Missoula, I was seeing this girl, Bethany Joyce, and she did the jazz nights at the Badlander.
Yeah,
I don't know if you remember that.
Yes,
On Sundays. She was hosting it. So like I didn't know much music theory at that time, but I always loved jazz, but so just that was a really inspiring, like trying to learn that next level of music theory and all the all the chords with numbers behind them, and
exactly
what all that means.
What's add 7 mean? I know what's add 9. Yeah.
But I mean it. I still don't consider myself like a jazz musician, but at least I can use those sounds in my music, whatever genre it might be. And so that was, that kind of, I almost got like a formal education through that in a way.
No, there's no better forge. I say this all the time. No better forge in jazz music for getting that theory, getting getting the communication skill with other musicians.
Yeah, for improvising, and that's huge. But since then I've started kind of teaching guitar too, so I've always kind of pushing myself to kind of feel like I have something to offer.
Right,
So
and also teaching also makes you expand your own.
Yeah, absolutely.
Very cool. Well, then, other thing I really want to touch upon is where you're currently working. As not a musician, is for one of our mutual acquaintances, Mr. Hank Donovan over at Rattlesnake Cables. What's that like? What's it like? How'd you get your start there, and what's that like?
It's wonderful. It is kind of like that. Now that's the gig that I'm doing to supplement everything. But it's nice being out of the service industry, and
I bet.
But I mean, I've been there for going on 2 years, and just started, like I saw he posted on Facebook, like, I'm thinking about hiring someone maybe, and I responded, and
really? So you're like one of his first new hires?
Oh, there's a couple of people that have been working there longer, but it had been a while since it was time to add some. It's a small crew, but
it is, right.
But
it sounds like you're right up his alley too, because he always talks about how he got his start. Him and his wife dealing in the service industry.
Yeah,
had that same background. I bet. I'm not going to speak for him, but I would understand. I think that's probably something that drew him in. Like,
he wants people that have that kind of ability. It's kind of like a kitchen in a way. We're just cooking up cables instead, but it's great, and I've learned a lot by being there.
Very cool.
I've never been really like gear savvy or electronics. Like, I use the instruments, but I don't know how things work.
Right, exactly. So. I don't know the circuitry, but I know the sound it makes.
Yeah, so it's been really cool to get a little insight on that side of things. But
nice. Well, we've covered, what you're doing. We've covered how you got there. So let's talk about your future. What's coming up for you? Anything exciting? Any releases? Any big shows?
I'm always just kind of recording my own music, and I like to do music videos. Mm-hmm. So I've got a couple really cool ones kind of on the way.
That's exciting. But, again, follow below.
I want to. My YouTube channel. I'm trying to build that up, but. I mean, as far as like actual long-term goals or whatever, I'm just kind of going with the
same old. You know where you want the music, but how you get there.
I want to tour more. I used to kind of go on like 1 or 2 tours a year, but it's been a couple years, and I'm just trying to like reset and try to do it better than before.
COVID kind of knocked everybody out of it.
Yeah, absolutely. But yeah, just hoping to travel. And I don't know. I just feel like if I just keep putting stuff out there, then maybe something cool will happen.
No, that's exactly.
That's my mindset.
You're not stagnant, you know.
Yeah.
Well, fantastic. Yeah. Like I said, whatever he decides to do, whatever release, music, tour, it's all below. Follow him. Make sure you don't miss any of that kind of stuff. He is going to be nice enough. We'll have this interview out. Make sure you watch all of this. Following that, a couple days later, we're going to release. He's going to perform a song for us. Be sure you catch that. And then beyond that, just make sure you follow all the stuff. Great guy, Howard Burress. Really appreciate your time. Thank you so much. Great to have you.
Absolutely.
And then, like I said, stick around for that show, for the video. And we'll see you guys in the next one.
Appreciate it.
Bye.